What is up, everybody? My name is Scotty Hastings, and thank you for joining me on my channel. Today I am here at Lazy H Archery. It's right down the street from my house. Mike Hudson is the owner of it. He's got a great building here. I think this is going to become my new home range. Mike's a great guy, great building, great land out back to where I can try to get 70. But today I am going to run you through what I do when I train. I've had people ask about the way that I train, how I do it. So I'm gonna walk you through kind of a quick version of my training. Usually my trainings last like 2.5, 3 hours, something like that. I don't wanna put you guys through that, so we're just gonna do a simplified version of it so that I can show you what I do, how I do it, and kind of teach you why I do it. For us parachuters, it's hard for us to shoot 24/7 all the time. So the able-bodied team, the resident athletes, the Olympians, they are able to train all day, every day. That's what they do. Most of us have families, we have jobs, we are not able to do that. I try to train as much as possible, but we don't get to train all day, every day. So we only train maybe, a couple days a week, and it's for a couple hours or so. Today, I'm going to show you how I train and why I do what I do, and hopefully what I do, some of you can take and it can help you as well. So when I first get in, after I stretch and everything, my shoulder will actually wear down just by stretching. So I don't stretch as much as most people do. The way that I start my training is this. I start with light poundage so that I can make sure that everything's moving the way it's supposed to move. All my movements are controlled and precise because, like I said, on the para side, we're not able to train every day. So if I take a couple of days off, I need to retrain my muscles into the movements that they need to be moving. The best way to do it is with a light bow. You start throwing heavy weight on your body after taking a couple of days off, and there's a lot of times it feels like everything is just gone to crap. I mean, you're not yourself. So for me, I have to retrain my muscles and my body to do what it needs to do. I will usually do this for about an hour, give or take. That way I can know and I can feel secure in the fact that I know that my body is doing what it's gonna do. So I'm going to take a couple shots here. When I am shooting this, I do not care at all where it goes. I do not care. I don't care if it, I would like for it to hit the target so that I don't have to pull it out of some wood, but I don't care where it goes. I'm not using this bow to try to shoot 10s. That's what that bow's for. You're gonna shoot a couple shots with this. I just want to be sure that everything that I'm doing is controlled, right? I don't want to slow down because I've noticed that with me, if I slow down too much, then I'm starting to use muscles that I normally don't use when I shoot, and I will hurt myself. So I just want to make sure that my movements are controlled. It's not just me pulling back and flinging arrows. I'm controlling everything. Remember, every arrow that you shoot has to have a purpose. So with me, when I am warming up with this, when I'm working my body into getting the right movements and everything, I am basically working to get the same feeling every single time. My shooting is based off feeling. So I want to have the same feel every single time. So I'm gonna take a couple shots here. Thankfully this thing's light, so I'm actually able to kind of hook my finger in there a little bit and hold it. Notice how I'm not moving crazy slow. I'm not, I'm moving at my normal pace. I'm just making sure that every movement is controlled in what I do. I am still in the process of warming up, so this is not only a good way to get your muscles moving the way they're supposed to, but it's also a good way to warm up a little bit. So like I said, I will do this for, about 30, 45 an hour, something like that, depending on how my body feels. I don't care how long I take. I want to be sure that my body feels good. Every time I take the shot, it feels the same. Every time I draw, every time I anchor, it feels exactly the same. Once I reach that point, that's when I will shift over to my heavy bow, my indoor setup, my actual tournament bow. So I realized that the arrows that I was using were not the arrows that I normally use. They were a little too short. So, thankfully I found it on like the third end, so I'm able to use these now. And that's the way that I warm up. That's the way that I train. I train like that for a good hour. And now we're going to jump into the heavy bow, and hopefully it feels the same. If it doesn't, then I start back on the light bow. I want to make sure that I'm moving and feeling the same exact thing every single time. That is how you become great at archery, is you build your consistency, you move the same way every single time, and you build that muscle memory. All right, so now I am going to shoot the heavy bow, my big bow. Unfortunately, I cannot show you guys my bow. I cannot show you a part of my bow because Shrewd is gonna be dropping a new product, and I can't ruin it for Shrewd and for you guys. So I have to wait and see. I've graduated to my big indoor bow. I am going to start this first end. I usually take 1 to 2 ends to make sure everything is moving and feeling the way it's supposed to. Again, every movement is controlled, it's deliberate, it's on point, it's where it needs to be. I am going to go ahead and shoot a couple ends here. And then usually after the couple ends, I like to shoot for score because it helps me keep accountability of my shot and my arrows. Not just flinging arrows, it makes me have to work to get to where I want to be. But again, every arrow has a purpose. So my purpose is to make sure my shot feels exactly the same every single time. But yeah, so that product that Shrewd has not announced yet, that you guys will see around Vegas time, we'll have a review on it, and you guys will get all the nitty gritty, the down and dirty, and what I think about it. So, yeah. With shooting, you have to understand that archery is a very imperfect sport. Human beings are not perfect, but we compete in a sport where you try to be perfect. So every shot that I make will not feel perfectly exactly the same. There'll be some shots where you're just like, what the hell am I doing? That's okay. That's okay. You learn from failure, whether it be a bad shot, anything like that. Learn from it. If you don't learn from a failure, then you're doing something wrong. All right, so I forgot to share it with you guys, but I did shoot a 281. Not great, not horrible, but to end practice out, I usually come back to the light guy. Basically just to reaffirm all my movements. By this time, my muscles are a little tired, so this is a great time to basically just push the way that the form is supposed to be. with a bow that is really light, so my muscles can see even when they're tired. They have to move a certain way. So yeah, so that is it. That is basically a quick rundown of my training, my practice using the light bow to make sure that your form is on point, and then moving to the heavy stuff, and then coming back to the light bow to, even when your muscles are tired, you can still continue to work that form and keep the muscle memory going. Thank you for watching. Please like, share, subscribe, and I'll see you on the next one.